Camoccio gun Mart TV, and we've got here quite a key air rifle really, in certainly for Daystate, in their sort of product lineage. I was a big Daystate fan. I say going back to sort of mid 80s. I had one of their first field target versions of the Huntsman, and it was the Huntsman FTR, as standing for field target rifle. Fairly similar profile to this actually, it had a lovely little walnut stock, thumb shelves, etc. Everything I've been obsessed with ever since, but it had what you needed in a gun. Of course, that was all mechanical, and Daystate, we used to always use and call them agricultural. It wasn't meant as an insult, it was just a sort of very simple sort of profile that they followed from an engineering point of view. But they were, you know, they were winning field target shoots quite early on, and I did well with that Huntsman FTR. But obviously, they've in the latter years, they've really become they were pioneers of the PCP, obviously, in the modern era. And their innovative streak went on to give us, of course, the first sort of full-blown electronic air guns. And this is one of these, the Daystate Mk3, which was quite a significant gun, as I say. Launched in 2002 and produced, I think they produced until around 2007, and thereafter it sort of evolved into the Mark IV, I believe. But this Mark III really did hit the market by storm, and of course this had what they called CDT technology, which is capacited discharge technology, and it's actually using an electronic system with solenoids, etc., to electronically deliver that power cycle. They harnessed that clever chap Steve Harper, and they brought on board the Harper Wolf's electronics for these first early models. And I remember when the rumours were going around about a new Daystate which was electronically powered, exciting times. And of course I remember a lot of these suddenly turning up at the HFT shoots, and Daystate were doing really well with it. They don't seem that bothered about the HFT market lately, because of course they're getting success in other areas, but they swamped the market with these, and as I say, a lot of shooters were doing well with the Mark IIIs. So let's look at the features that you were getting with this sort of groundbreaking model. Now obviously that very sort of robust breech arrangement is there. You've got the very nice solid bolt handle, multi-shot magazine system in there, of course. I'll just turn it round. Now you do have with this, as you obviously it's got an onboard battery system which lasted. We all thought, oh, they're not going to last very long, but the lifespan of the batteries is enormous, and you don't have to charge them very often at all in practice, which was great. So when you switch, you actually use that safety catch to switch it on. So I don't know if you can pick out, there's a light. I don't know if you can see that light. Hopefully you can. There's a red light inside the button, and that denotes that the system is live. And then you turn it back off, and you've taken the system off. There was an added safety feature, which is actually a key lock underneath the trigger guard. So you'd use a key there and switch it all off. So it was total. So they were bringing total safety to it, because obviously with the lightness of the trigger, you're effectively leaving it live with this system. If you just touch the trigger, you could keep at least pulsing air. Obviously not going to, there wouldn't necessarily be a shot loaded, but the fact that you're constantly pulsing air was another safety issue. So they put a lot of design work into it. So yeah, key, you can make it remote with the key there. As I say, electronic triggers. We've had various manufacturers over the years, various airgun manufacturers that toyed with electronic triggers for a while, but as I say, it was Daystate that brought the whole system into the arena. And they've, to this day, of course, the whole, as we've seen all the modern lineup, they're incorporating electronic triggers as well. And obviously this Mark III's got the electronic trigger. Yeah, obviously totally walnut stock, Gary Kane inspired. I know the early ones, I think I believe they were manufactured by here. I'm not sure, but it's certainly a Gary Kane design anyway. You've got an integral silencer if you look at the front there. So it was, obviously we're missing the cap on this for the moment, but you've got the integral silencer system, so that again would take all the harshness out. As the system progressed, this went on to, I think there was an RT version that came after, and then Daystate kept on upgrading the electronics, so they went to the B system of electronics that came in the RT, and for that you could get more power. They always had one eye on the FAC market. I mean, Daystate are one of the main manufacturers that really do sort of cater for the American market as well, so there's very high power models that follow. They've evolved the electronics. The reliability was pretty good with these, I believe. There was always a worry about the durability in wet weather, but they kept on sort of proving the point. I remember them doing a famous stunt where they dropped one in a lake, and someone swam underwater with one of the guns to sort of prove that it was actually waterproof. But obviously everything, I remember the way they sealed the electronics inside, it's all improved, and we've got the incredible modern lineup that we see today. But this Mark III represented at the time, it was a groundbreaking airgun, and yeah, it's quite exciting to see one again after a few years. That's Daystate Mk3.